Get Your Shift Together Men's Podcast with your host, Dr. MyRon Edmonds.
Get Your Shift Together Men's Podcast. We here. Listen, we're already telling you off the rip, today is going to be a hot topic. We're talking about men and do they want submissive women? What does submission mean? Do we want to be catered to? Conversation for you. For you. This is for you. I got to make this clear, y'all. I got to make this clear, don't I? This is a conversation for the brothers.
For men.
With me. Are you with me, Kymone?
For men.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jason.
For men, and I want to say men only, but you know,
listen, we know
for men.
As soon as you put up this topic, if you say it's for men, our sisters are watching. So let's just have the conversation.
Let's have the conversation. Listen, the whole show. You know what? It's funny. I have to say this. It's just interesting though with men's conversations, and I'm saying this from a sincere and genuine heart. You know, spending a lot of time with men, really trying to get men to a space of vulnerability, really trying to get men to have conversations that they only don't have. We have to make a lot of disclaimers. We got to make a lot of disclaimers when we talk about these subjects. And I just want to say, if there's anybody other than a man watching, we understand. We understand that. I just want you to know that we're here for the brothers. Y'all asked us to come for the brothers. So
it's a men's podcast. You know, so we will address, some issues, and the ladies. Of course, the ladies can always have a voice.
Listen, let me say this.
Coming from a male perspective.
Let me show you what this is, right? You ever been in a barbershop and brothers are talking and a mom comes to pick up her son? And it gets quiet. It gets quiet. And sisters, this is what happens. This is what you miss when we stop talking, right? So if you want us to talk, this is the conversation we have. This is a learning opportunity. And yes, you can chime in. But this is a barbershop conversation. These conversations. Now, if you walk in, we might get a little quiet. Just let you know.
Not me though.
Kymone gonna get quiet. I'm gonna keep talking. Gonna get louder.
I'm gonna keep talking. It's crazy, man, because I got my little light up. Every time I try to enhance my podcast setup, you guys is coming just like. First it was the mic, right? But now all y'all got short mics. I'm seeing that right now. I don't got
listen, we got questions to ask you because we know you've been traveling. Kymone, tell us about our sponsor. Got an amazing sponsor today. Tell the fellas about our sponsor.
Absolutely. Listen, brothers, one of the things we recognize is men need recreational companionship. We need times for us to do stuff together that we enjoy, that allows us to get out, allows us to even use some of our competitive drive. And we have an opportunity for brothers, and sisters, right? There's this brothers and sisters invitational golf tournament. And not only is it a golf tournament, but it's in Walt Disney World Resort. So you get a chance to kick it with some other people. You get a chance to play golf if you're a golfer, but you get a chance to go to Walt Disney Resort. And it takes place from October 9th to the 12th of this year. And we're saying to you, if you want to sign up for this, go to brothersgolf.org. Go to brothersgolf.org. And if you want 10% off, use the coupon code SHIFT. So brothersgolf.org, use the coupon code SHIFT. Tell them that we sent you. Tell them that the Get Your Shift Together podcast sent you. And if you do, use the coupon code SHIFT. Get 10% off Walt Disney, Florida. October 9 to 12. That's where it is. Go and have a chance to connect with brothers and sisters.
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors. We appreciate Adam and his team. And I think that sounds kind of dope, man. I need to get into golfing, man.
Real dope.
Hey, Jason, you into golf?
I tried it, man. I tried it. I'm not that good, man. It's hard to give it up, but I'm not opposed on going back out there trying again for sure.
Me too. And this is right down the street from me, man. So I might roll up over there, check them out.
Gotta go.
So you're gonna roll down. He's gonna roll down the street for the golf tournament, but I'm coming in town to Florida this weekend, and I'm down the street, and the man can't roll it. Man, tell the people to share. Tell the people to share where they can like the comment and review and rate the
That's right. All right, let me
podcast, man.
You gonna try to put a dig in and just let's jump out. All right. here's what we're saying, man. As you're listening to this podcast, as you're watching this podcast, we need you to do a few things. First of all, we need you to share this. So if you're listening to this podcast, share it with someone. This is a conversation, as we said, to help people understand men and to give men a space to talk about things that are important to us, especially men of color. And secondly, give us a rating and review. This help people to find the podcast. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you're on Spotify, you're on Google Podcasts, leave a rating, leave a review, but share it, give us a rating and review, and let other people know to come, other brothers and sisters know to come check out the Get Your Shift Together podcast.
All right. You know, it's been a while since we've been together, fellas. A lot of things been going on in our lives. We've been to conferences. We've been traveling the world. I know, Jay, you some exciting stuff is going on in your family. Tell us a little bit, man. Y'all did something that a lot of Black families don't do recently, man. Tell us about that, bro.
Yeah, man. So, my wife is born and raised in Los Angeles, California. All of her family is in LA. You know, there's nobody here in Cleveland that's family except for, you know, her church family and of course her amazing husband. So like, you know, all her family is in Los Angeles, right? Everybody. So her dad, he just recently bought a RV and he drove the RV from California all the way up to Ohio.
Nice.
And we rode back with him from Ohio all the way to California. So a 2.5 day road trip in the RV. I don't know, man. I am a advocate for buying RV. Now that I rode in an RV, I'm a advocate that every Black man or family, we need to get an RV.
I'm for sure. I'm with that. Yes.
We got to get RVs.
It's a different life, man. It's a different life.
Get RVs. Who knows what's going to happen with the world, man? We might need to have a mobile home. You know?
Yes, sir.
We need to be mobile out here. But I am an advocate, man. Every Black family, if possible, if financially possible, man, don't buy no Bugatti or Bentley. Go get you an RV first.
That's strong.
Okay? Lil Baby and all these rappers and everybody, all y'all, go get y'all RV. Don't buy the Bugatti first. Don't buy the Lamborghini first. Buy the RV first, and then you know, get the other toys. If you want to be responsible, right? When I did this road trip, that's the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, I need a RV or a mobile home. Just, you know, things happen. I mean, need to, you know what I'm saying, take the family, get away, you know, we be straight. So
that gas though. What about that gas, bro? They got electric, do they got hybrid RVs out there?
I need that.
That gas was smacking me for $300. It's funny because every time we stop, you know, me and her dad kind of look like it, you know, whose turn?
Who got it?
Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it?
I'm gonna head to the bathroom.
Whose turn is it? But yeah, man, it was an awesome trip.
Well, cross country though was awesome. Yo, we went cross country in 2000 and I think it was either 15 or 10.
Yeah,
I'm with you, man. It was. I think people underestimate America and how beautiful it is and how different it is in different places.
Yes, Colorado.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Colorado is a beautiful state.
Yes,
it is a beautiful state. Of
so
course,
is Utah. Utah is too, man. All these places that Black people. Of
course, I stopped at Mile High Stadium and cried at the steps of the Denver.
All right, Kymone, how you doing, man? Listen, bro.
Look at the hate.
We haven't talked to Kymone in a while. How are you doing, Kymone? We're not
great,
about the Broncos. This guy's always trying to slip some stuff in here about the Broncos, man. Good Lord.
And listen, MyRon, look, I don't know how you're going to do it in the podcast, man. We got to drink a gallon of water a day, you and I, in this health challenge. Man, I can't go far.
Why you leave me out, Kymone? Why you leave me out?
Oh, you do. You need to get on this thing. I don't want to promote their business, at least for my podcast.
We got to get them to be a sponsor. Jason, we'll share it. We'll share it.
All right,
we got to tell you.
But I'll tell you this. I can't go far without water. And we got to end this podcast early because I got to go to the bathroom, man. Like in this health challenge, boy, you're drinking a gallon of water a day. You're watching what you're eating. But honestly, it's making me feel better. You know, it's one of those things when you get on a health tip, not just you see the physical things, you know, weight or whatever, but just your outlook on life. I feel like it helps. So that's what I'm on right now.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that was my thing. That was my since being gone, a lot has happened. But I think the big thing right now is me, my wife, and my daughter. We're all doing it. And I'm doing it with a bunch of other guys, and we're on a text thread. So I've done some of the popular workout programs that a lot of us have heard about. But the difference between this one and those ones, man, is the community piece, and everybody's doing it together. And so drinking a gallon of water a day is gotten easier. You know, not eating any carbs or simple carbs, and just listen, man, it's been great. And I put some jeans on yesterday, man. And they was baggy. Now they used to be slim fit. They used to be like almost skinny. I put them on, man, and they was like, I said, okay, man, I'm feeling a little motivated. Keep going. But anyway, all right, look, we got to get in this thing today because the subject matter requires time. But before we do that, what's bubbling on the block, DJ Walk?
Yeah, man, real quick, man. Just want to give our condolences to Jalen Walker's family, who was shot and killed by the Akron police. So, you know, that's a very hot topic. As you know, me and MyRon, we are in Cleveland, which is not too far from Akron, which is a stone throw from Akron, Ohio. So want to give our condolences to the Walker family. Not related, but, you know, just want to give our condolences to his family, all the families affected in Akron by this. And, you know, that's been the talk about what's going on, man. We think we come so far. We like, you know, we've made some real headway, but then these reminders of the things that we go through as a Black community, as Black men, you know, they come right back and they let us know how far we really have gotten, you know. So condolences to the Jalen Walker family, condolences to everyone in Akron that has been affected by this tragedy. And for Ohio, man, we just got to put our arms around Akron right now because, you know, they're rising up down there, rightfully so, in my humble opinion, rightfully so. You know, they're rising up down there. So just want everybody to stay safe, you know, and just once again, our condolences out to Akron, Ohio.
The 60 shots, though, man.
60 shots. Yeah.
I just can't think of a scenario outside of being in combat where somebody needs to be shot 60 times, man. Like people don't get shot 60 times in Afghanistan. It's just it makes no sense to me when you put that into perspective. On the battlefield, you don't see this type of carnage, but it's just like being repeated. That's a good bubbling on the block right there. Thank you for bringing that up, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. Yeah,
I think we done got numb to this stuff.
Yeah, one more little small bubbling on the block, man, just to kind of lighten the moods a little bit. Viola Davis dropped her new trailer for Woman King, right?
That looks good.
And as I'm watching the trailer, I'm just like, Viola Davis, man, she fine a little bit.
You know what?
Hold on, she's not one of those ones that's just you know, that you automatically think of, you know, body and being fine. You know, she's not like one of the Nia Longs or somebody like that. But you're just like,
oh, this is good. I'm glad you said that. Could it? Hold on. Let me ask you this, sir. Could it be that there's something attractive to you about a strong Black woman?
Hey, man, listen. I watched that trailer and I was just like,
you ain't lied. I felt the same way when I saw that trailer.
The same. What was the thing? She's not the same lady from that. What was that movie she was in? There was a movie she was in back in the day, man.
It's kind of funny because
she wasn't in The Help, was she? No.
She was.
She was?
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny though because you know, she just did the Michelle Obama movie, and you know, we didn't kind of look at her in that light, but she dropped this Woman King trailer with the little suit on, I'm just like, okay, Viola, we see you out here, Viola Davis. All right,
man. Listen, actually, that's a great segue. That's a great. First of all, I thought I was expecting to hear some man laws today, given that it's the summertime, because I want you to know I've seen a lot of violations, but I don't want to get deep. I don't want to.
Let's get to it.
Get sidetracked. Because I really want to, but listen, man, I got to tell you, that is so true. I saw Viola Davis, and she was on the cover of a magazine too, and I followed her on Instagram, and I'm just like, man, it's amazing how somebody can, how they are contextualized can change how you perceive them.
Yeah.
Now, that said, oh boy. Disclaimer again. Listen.
Barbershop.
This is brothers talking about what we want.
Yeah.
All right. And so all the brothers, you are more than safe to share your thoughts in this conversation. But I got to show a video. I got to show a video first. But we're talking about submission today. And we're talking about submission from the perspective of what men want from their women. Do men want a submissive woman? Do they want a woman that caters to their every need? Well, Deaconess Jasmine Brown, the alleged partner of Cam Newton, and we know a lot of shade's been thrown at Cam Newton for his
eccentric.
He's being eccentric, and he is like Father Abraham. He's the father of many nations, and he didn't marry his last baby mama, and so social media has been coming for this sister Jasmine Brown, who was on the podcast Lovers and Friends. I think it's called Lovers and Friends. I forgot the sister's name who does the podcast. My apologies to that sister. We'll put it in the show notes, but it was a very compelling podcast. Don't you think so, Kymone Hinds? I saw it first on
Lovers
social
and
media.
Friends.
Lovers and Friends. What's her name though? I can't remember her name. But anyway,
Shan Boudre. Boudram.
Yeah. So I posted on social media this video that I'm about to show you, and I asked the question, DJ Walk. I said, "What if a man said this?" Now I want y'all to know in the comments, even though I'm all for the men, I'd say 90% of the comments were from women. Now I will say this: the first reactions I got were from men, and all of the men had cried out hallelujah. I mean, they all were like amen. They were all like preach, pastor. They were like
DMs probably,
and some of the DMs too. But I had about 3 or 4 guys whose names I could call right away. But then I think what happened is once all the sisters start getting them comments, the brothers
barbershop.
It's
the barbershop.
Alone.
The barbershop.
Yeah, the barbershop. She came in anyway. I just want to set this up. She was brought on the podcast by this sister, Jasmine Brown, that is the partner of Cam Newton, allegedly. She was brought on the podcast because the podcast is about sex and relationships. And she was asked to talk about sex. She said, the podcast host, she said, I thought she was going to talk about sexual positions and things of that nature. She said she shocked me because instead of talking about that, she wanted to talk about being submissive instead. Anyway, let's show the video.
Everything.
What does that mean?
Like
what does a submissive woman do for her man?
everything.
What does that mean?
Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how are you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be there. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
All right, let me just say another disclaimer. I'm glad, Jason, I was watching your reactions the whole time. But another disclaimer. Listen, guys, it is not my responsibility today to dig into this woman's personal life. Or I just wanted to take what she said at face value. And I asked the question, DJ Walk, if a man said this about a woman, if this was a man saying this about a woman, how would a woman feel? How would a woman feel? right? And so I got a lot of feedback. Some of the sisters said that they would think that the man was crazy. Some of the sisters said, I think they start discrediting the comment that she made based on who she was. But we're not trying to talk about her today. I just want to talk about submissiveness because that was her whole point. So anyway, brothers, do y'all want that from a woman?
You're gonna just start right there, huh?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Do you want that from a woman?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not even gonna say brothers. Just any person would want that type of treatment. I mean, that sounds like that reminds me of like Coming to America. When First Hakeem woke up, and the drapes opened and the flower girls. I mean, brothers, I'm talking to you, but just in general, like what person wouldn't want that type of treatment? But it does kind of get sticky when it gets into like a relationship with your woman. But just on a general basis, I think any person would just love to be pampered like that.
Yeah. So, okay. Hold on.
What do you want?
So
you want all of that? That's what I want to know.
Do I want all of that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a regular human being. Hell yeah, I want all of that.
I mean, look. Let me be honest. I think Jason's example might throw some people off, right? When you talk about coming to America, because that's obviously a situation of power, right? There is a power relationship. There are multiple women who are obviously like serving this man, not because it's something they want to do, right? It's something that is their job, or we don't even know like the power dynamics. But I think if we talk about a one-on-one relationship, me and my wife, the principles of what she's saying there, absolutely I want that, right? I want my wife to love me and be in tune with me enough that she knows my needs and she is willingly, joyfully meeting those needs, maybe even before I'm even asking for it. Like, we're so in tune. I want that. Like, I think that's the principle of what's being said, right? I think, and we'll get into some of that stuff later. I think the principle of you love me, you're in tune with me, and you're providing the things that I'm needing. I want that.
On a everyday consistent basis. I mean, that would, that's
Let me get in here real quick before I share my thoughts. So on social media, this is on my Instagram page. It's MyRon Live on Instagram. Hundreds of comments on this, mostly from sisters. And one sister said, nah, I feel this, but bruh got to be worthy to be submissive too.
I was going to bring the point out.
Another person said, it doesn't matter whether this commentary is directed at a man or a woman. If your loved one is drained from loving you, she did say that. She said she feels drained sometimes from loving you and thinks that you are spoiled rotten. There is something seriously wrong in the dynamic of your relationship. So I want to add, so honestly, so let me say this, that because a lot of people in the comment kept coming for her on the whole point of being drained, even though that was not in that post. So my thing is, I look at my wife. I've watched my wife with our children, bruh.
It's drained. I was gonna say that,
I just, and I know that there is some women are triggered by this conversation.
Absolutely.
But I just want to say again, I'm talking to brothers. And I know some brothers that DM me that was triggered as well. There's a lot of brothers that's been hurt by women who felt like their needs were ignored, that their needs were made, that because of the feminist culture, that a lot of women feel like I ain't doing this for you. You do it for yourself. And there's another extreme. And then they watch this same type of catering being done for the children. I'm telling you, me and my wife used to go at it because I used to be jealous of my children, because the same thing I think that she was describing, I've seen my wife do this for children, for parents, you know what I'm saying? Be drained and caretaking and all that stuff. And then it's like, this is my issue. It's like, then when it's talked about, providing this for a man, you start hearing all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I saying? Like opposition. It's like opposition to it. So, man, I've told my wife, and my wife, she's not the cooker. I am. And I was that because my wife was in dental school. So I had to be I wasn't the type of dude who's just gonna sit around and wait for my wife to get home. You know what I'm saying? We have an egalitarian relationship, right? So it's equal in all parts. But I do want to be nurtured. And even though I'm the better cook, when my wife cooks for me, bro, that just I want all of that. I want to be massaged. I want to be told I'm the man. I want to be catered to.
Yeah.
I want her undivided attention. And it has nothing to do with whether I am a, you know what I'm saying, new school man or whether I'm an old school chauvinist. I just want, like Jason said, I want that kind of love and attention. I don't understand why anybody would have an issue with that.
So I think there's an elephant in the room, and it's this word submission. That's the elephant in the room. And anytime you use the word submission, every word brings with it baggage, right? And you know, like once you hear it, as you said, it triggers, right? For some people, it triggers them because of a word that's really imposed on submission, right? Forced. So anytime we hear submission, we think forced. But submission, I think, is actually a good word for relationships, right? And I think the word that really we need to put in front of it is the word mutual. It should be mutual submission. And if there's mutual submission, so what you just said that every man wants, I don't think it's a problem that women would admit that's what they want. My wife wants me to like know what she wants, right?
Read her mind.
Right? Like I don't want to tell you what I want. I want you to just know, right? And the things that she'll remember most are the things that she didn't tell me. I planned this. You know, maybe she dropped a hint a long time ago. I brought it in and she had a hard day and I did something. Like that's submission. That's her being catered to. And I think let's just talk about submission, because I think for people, anytime the word submission comes up, one, I think they think forced and they think it's one way. It's only going one way.
That's facts.
Yeah,
a lot of people, they hate that word. It's a dirty word. Go ahead, Jay.
And I've talked to ladies about this, you know, female friends, you know what I'm saying, or people that I know, and they always bring up the point that, you know, I'll be submissive, but I have to have something to submit to. Like I just can't submit to any old man. You know, he has to have the qualities and he has to be in a place for me to be submissive to. So, you know, that's a very good point that I've heard multiple times.
Yeah, but why do we got to say that?
But hold on,
Like,
Myron,
go ahead.
I think before we go further, because someone just asked in the comments, let's set a definition for the word submission. Let's set a definition for that.
Okay, so all right. So if we're gonna do that, then we're gonna have to. We believe we're faith driven. So I just want everybody to know that when I talk about submission, and at least I feel like my brothers here, when we're talking about submission, we're talking about it from the perspective of our faith, and because that's where the word comes from, right? The word comes from the Bible, and so in Ephesians 5:21-25, this is what it says. It says submit. First thing it says is submit to one another. That's what you're talking about, out of reverence for Christ. Yeah. Then in verse 22 it says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. And I'll skip down verse 24. It says, now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. And then verse 25, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Right. So give us a definition, Hinds, of what submission is based upon what we just read.
I think, and listen, I'm gonna go back to something that was said in the podcast because I really liked it. Right, they said submission is coming under someone's mission, under someone's mission, and it's a choice, and I think that's really important. It's a choice. So I think there's, you know, like what the text said there is submit to one another in reverence to Christ, right? So we are both saying my role, I'm looking out for your mission. I'm here to build you up in what I believe God wants you to do. And it's the same, right? My wife is saying, I'm looking out for you and I'm here to build you up into what I think God wants you to do. And I think it's mutual. And if you read that thing, there's a responsibility on both parties. And I don't know, you know, you can't really say one is heavier than the other. It's both of them saying, man, I'm not out for me. I'm out for how to make you better, how to build you up. So
I would say it's difficult though, because when you read it, it says both of y'all submit to each other, and then it says to women, it says women. I know a different version says different things. It says respect. Wives respect your husbands, and then it says to husbands love your wives. I've always said that. Isn't it interesting that God asks each gender to do something that doesn't come naturally?
Right.
So for men, our whole thing is respect. That's our love language, essentially.
Yep.
For women, their natural disposition is love, right?
Right.
Tapping into those the emotional aspects of love. So it's like God is asking both of us to do things that don't come naturally for us, which requires some level of effort. That's what submission looks like.
And it's crazy, right, Myron? Like usually in relationships, if we can like be a fly on the wall when we're arguing, if something's wrong, a wife would say, "Man, I don't feel like you love me," right? A man would a lot of times say, "Man, I don't feel respected. I don't feel like the words he uses are respect terms." I think God knows that that's our critical needs for each other. So he's saying, man, don't give the other person what's your critical need. Give them what's their critical need.
Love them the way they need to be loved. Yeah. So when we talk about the submission thing, I think we help set, set the course of what we're talking about. Coming under someone else's mission. I love that, man. That's good. What I want to know from y'all, man, like, let's get back to this issue because we're talking about men and their relationships with women. Sorry, ladies, we love you, but we're talking about what we need from women, right? And I feel like a lot of brothers don't have a lot of spaces where they can say this and not be accused of being chauvinistic, misogynistic, or anything of that nature. But do you want your woman to be strong and submissive? Do you think that they can be both? Because I know sometimes when people hear submission, they're not hearing what we just talked about. They're hearing weakness, especially some sisters. They're hearing like subservience. This even Jasmine Brown said she said her I'm gonna quote it. My biggest flex is how I treat my man. She says, they asked her, what do you submit to your man? And she says, everything. That's what the scripture just said. I mean, I'm just saying. And then she said, love is my superpower. Listen, bro, I love my wife to death. I don't want that woman. I don't want her at all. But man, hearing her say that sent chills up my spine, bro. Woo! I will run through a brick wall, which I for my wife. It's almost like I was listening to Ricky Smiley talk about this. He is just like, man, if men hear women talk like this, he was like, and we're talking generally speaking, he was like, there's not much that a man will not do for his woman. If he feels this kind of, my biggest flex is how I treat my man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My love is I love to bring him peace. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts about that? And, back to what we were talking about earlier, just about how we see women doing this kind of stuff for children. We see them doing this kind of stuff for their parents. But a lot of times, a lot of brothers that we talk to, Kymone and Jason, there's a lot of brothers crying out saying, I'm not getting this type of loving from my wife.
Yeah. Look, I'm the one to say, I don't know about this. And there's something that resonated inside of me as I was listening to that picture. And by the way, I told you.
Even cautious Kymone felt that, huh?
Yeah, listen. And she also said her mom is from Trinidad, so she can do no wrong in my eyes. But but here's the point. I think it's just natural. Like there's some things that you hear as a man, you go, yeah, I agree with that. Like let's not shoot the messenger. Let's not try to discredit. Truth is truth. And we all want that kind of love that's saying, man, you are looking out for me. That's what this lady is saying. I'm looking out for this man. And she's also saying, listen, my love has the ability to heal. And I actually believe that. I believe my wife's love has healed some stuff in my life.
Yeah. I don't know why anybody would have a problem with saying that. Do you feel like, Jason, your wife's love for you or even your love for your wife has helped them to be a better person, helped them to get through tough experiences? I had somebody debating me on that because I was literally like, my wife has healed me. And they were like, well, no, it's because you were willing to put in the work and da. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
When I was at my worst and I was not my wife's love, that joint helped set me free without a therapist.
why else would they be there? You know, I mean, like, you know, you have to have a companion or a mate that's going to love you through the dark times. I mean, love you back to where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't do that, then you need to reevaluate if you should be with that person or whatever, because everything is not going to be so roses and sunrises. Things are going to get tough, and you got to be with somebody that's going to love you through the tough times, you know. And there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, my wife has, even recently, you know, we hit a little, you know, saying ditch, and she loved me through the hard times. So, I mean, that's what you're generally looking at in a mate. So, I completely.
Is there a limit? That's what I want to get into now.
But you know, I think,
go ahead.
let me say this. I think what you just said there is important for us to understand that men need healing. Like, I think sometimes we think men need to be told, you need to this, whatever, but men need healing. And a lot of times that healing comes inside of trusted relationships, right? Trusted relationships.
From women.
Right. Like,
but let me circle back real quick, guys, man, because we getting ultra deep, man. Let me talk about this strong woman stuff, right? So growing up, you know, my mother was an extremely strong woman, right? So as me being a young man, loving my mother, seeing my mother my whole entire life, I've said, you know what? I have to marry a strong woman. I have to marry a woman that's as strong as my mother, you know. And that was a good idea until, you know, I really got with a woman that's as strong as my mother, right? So let me just say this, ladies, there's a balance.
That's real, man.
Okay? Ladies, there is a balance. Okay, you don't have to be so strong that you're trying to overpower your man or anything like that. You know, there's a balance. I will say this, ladies, if you get anything from this conversation and from that interview, get this: you have to have a level of submission to your man. You have to have it don't have to be over the top like Jazzy B, but it needs to be a level there that you are able to.
Okay, so you getting deep now. Tell us what does that mean? What does that no?
And let
what
your
does that
man
mean?
lead, huh?
What does that mean? I'm saying because somebody just said in the comments, submission is, you know, it's not a blanket definition. It can mean different things, whatever.
I got a question on that though. I got a thought. Go ahead, Jason, before you.
Okay, but I just want to know what he means when, because what's the extreme? Some people may not feel like what Jasmine is saying is an extreme. I know there's a whole generation of people that, you know, my mom did all that. She went to law school and she cooked, she cleaned, and she took care of the kids.
Come on, man. She said, I'm going to scratch his back until he goes to sleep, and I'm going to know exactly when he goes to sleep.
Okay,
now
that sounds weird. It sounds weird, but Jason, what if you provided that same what if you met that same need for Juanita? Would it sound weird?
Yeah. I think on any level, man.
Only on social media. You'd be applauded for that. You'd be applauded.
Me watching you until I definitely know that you're asleep and then I'll stop. I mean, come on, that's a little excessive.
Bruh, listen, first of all, let me just, I'm gonna keep it 100. When we do the do, 9 times out of 10,
I'm putting you to sleep.
You going to sleep. The dude going to sleep first anyway. And so if she's massaging this man after a night of some songs of Solomon, and somebody keeps reminding me in the comments that Jasmine is not married to this guy.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that. I know that. We're just using.
And he's a weirdo.
We're just using the conversation. I'm not condoning their relationship, but the truth of the matter is, I don't know if they married or not. They could have gone to the justice of the peace. We don't know about what celebrities are doing. I just know what she said, and I'm telling you, what's your limit, Jason? That's why I asked the question. What's your limit? Is there a limit? Because there's some brothers that have been saying that they don't want. That they left relationships. I'm an example of this. I left relationship before I got my wife, where I felt like I was overly catered for. Like she didn't have any need except to meet my needs. Coming to America. That's what it felt like. And so I married Shanae because I wanted, a balanced relationship. Yeah. But at the same time, I wanted it, but I also resent some stuff about my strong woman. But I'm just saying to you though, what do you want from your woman? I want specifics. You don't want her to massage you until you fall asleep, man.
It's hard, man, to go into concrete specifics, man. But one thing that's very important in being a submissive wife or having a level of submission, you have to let your husbands lead. You gotta let your husbands lead. You gotta trust your husband or your boyfriend's guidance. And some boyfriend, like, he kind of gets a little, some tricky, but whoever the man is in your life, if you're in a relationship with him, that submissive factor in letting your man lead and trusting his judgment and what he's going to do.
Respecting
him, because me and Myron listen to the 7 levels of disrespect by women, and real early on that 7 levels of disrespect. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to you, Tariq Nasheed. Real early on them 7 levels of disrespect by women is what? Slick comments. Combativeness. Like if a brother say, you know what? I'm thinking that we should, and I'm not saying that women shouldn't have opinions, but if a brother say, you know what? I think I want Red Lobster tonight. You want Red Lobster? We just ate red. That's a slick comment. Okay, hold on. You gotta cut that out right then and there, right? You gotta be respectful to your man, because respect is one of the major pillars that's going to drive your relationship. And when that respect factor is gone, that's when things.
Jason is making my point. But anyway, go ahead, Kymone.
Let me say this again. Y'all walked into the barbershop, right? So we talking. Anytime we talk about respect, there's always like, what if he shouldn't be respected? Like, he got to earn respect. If we were talking about love, nobody ever says, what if she ain't good enough to be loved, right? Love is like unconditional. We understand putting the word unconditional in front of love in a relationship. Why do we take it out of respect? So if
whoa. Are you saying that respect should be unconditional as well?
Absolutely. I'm saying that. Wow. Respect is unconditional
on every level.
And in your relationship with your husband, just like love is unconditional. We don't ever say, you know what, she ain't, and I'm not even gonna bring up no examples, right? Because some ladies walked in the barbershop. But this, she shouldn't be loved anymore. She got to earn that love. You don't say you got to earn that love. So why you got to say the brother got to earn that respect?
That's a very good point.
Let me say this in response to that. So I did a live yesterday with my good friend David Griffin. He's killing it on TikTok. Bro got almost 600,000 followers on there. All he does is pray prayers. When he brought me on, and he wanted to talk about relationships, and the question that he came from, because 70% of his viewers are women, and so he said, I need you to come on and tell the women how they can help their men. And so I was just like, but dude, man, if I knew the answer to that, you had to pay me $1 million, because everybody wants to know that. But man, God gave me something on the spot. And what I discovered though, and y'all tell me if this is the truth or not, I really feel like that most men, generally speaking, the greatest things that they do in their lives, the greatest flexes, their greatest achievements oftentimes are motivated by women. They're often motivated by women. It's either a mother or somebody, a wife. And I was telling the sisters there, I was like, women have a lot of power, man. Wow. Women have a lot of power here. And I think first and foremost, there are two most powerful relationships in a man's life. And unfortunately, it should be his father. It should be his father, but we're in a fallen world, and it just don't happen like that. And a lot of times, it's the mother. It's the mother that speaks into the life of that child. It's the wife that pushes that man beyond his potential. But this is what I have found, though. A lot of women, we talk to them all the time, Kymone. I always talk about, I can't get my man to do this. I can't get my man to go to counseling. I can't get my man to go to see the doctor. I can't get my man to get help. I can't get my man to, to step up. I can't get my man to, stop lying, whatever. And I got a response for him. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I'm going to tell you why. The problem is not that you can't. I think the issue is that you don't know what you're doing.
And you don't want to put the work in.
Right. Well, it's the respect. What I'm saying, it's the respect. Women use, I'm just saying, the Bible talks about how it's better to be on the corner of a rooftop with a nagging woman. I think women don't know how to speak men's languages sometimes. And I'm saying men need to be admired. Men, you need to inspire and motivate and encourage. And I'm not saying I know some women right now gonna be triggered, but this ain't for you. I'm talking to the brothers. But brothers, I'm telling you, wouldn't you want your woman to speak to you in a way of admiration and respect that can help to move a brother? That can help to move a brother to his greatness. But a lot of times what we catching from sisters is not spoken in that way.
Listen, if you're a sister on here, you get a chance to hear some behind the scenes conversation. Let me tell you this. I think sometimes misconception is if I do this, this is going to get me what I want, right? And if you keep doing that and you keep not getting what you want, that's insanity. So if you feel like, I got to tell him he's wrong, I got to tell him he's wrong, I got to, come from the place of you got to earn my respect, and you realize you're not getting the response, how about flip it? Like we just talked about, man, like that lady said, like if you are getting a woman who is admiring, affirming, building you up, man, that thing motivates you. That motivates you to even step up your game in the things that she wants you to step up your game in. And I think that's what men are almost like, we can't say it, but it's true. We need to say it. Like, this is the truth, that just as sisters want their men to know what we want, men want the same thing, and they want those needs met.
100%. I want to ask y'all a final question about this. How strong do you want your woman? It's like I want to close with that.
When we talking about
real talk, and this is for brothers. Let's speak for the brothers out here, because I hear a lot of brothers like me, like Jason, like all of us here. I know for a fact, because I know y'all wives, y'all know my wife. We all marry strong women.
Mm-hmm.
We all marry strong women. My mother's a strong woman. I don't know many black women that's not strong, to be honest. But we all marry strong women. However, I will be honest. Sometimes I have taken for granted what I married. Sometimes I have resented the strength of my woman. And sometimes I'll be like, I need you to pipe down a little bit. I need you to pipe down a little bit. I need you. And I'll tell you what I mean when I'm saying that. Here's what I don't like. So the question is, how strong do you want your woman? I want my woman to be strong enough to know when to keep her mouth shut in certain situations. What are you saying? Do not publicly embarrass me. Do not embarrass me in front of my children. Do not embarrass me in front of my boys. Do not talk down to me in front of other people. If you're gonna come for me in behind closed doors, and I'll receive it. Now I know some brothers out there, they ain't gonna receive nothing. I ain't talking about them jackleg dudes. I'm talking about dudes who want to be married to a strong woman. It don't matter how secure I am. I'm telling you right now, I'm not that secure where you can check me in front of other people. I'm not that secure.
Yeah, if
I don't want you that strong.
Yeah, that's I think that's level 4 on a no. I think that's level 3 on the 7 levels, the 7 different levels of disrespect by women, public embarrassments, man. I mean, I'm right with you, Myron. I want a strong woman, but I don't want a woman that's strong enough to think that she could come and check me in front of my friends and family. That's keynote. No man wants that. No man wants to be embarrassed by his woman, even slightly. So when you're in the public eye and with friends and things like that, let your man have the lead, because keynote brothers, is this right? We look at you on how your woman treats you.
That's facts.
So if we out and if your woman is disrespecting you, talking to you crazy, slick comments, I'm gonna look at you like,
man, the kids see that too, and the kids be resenting it, bro.
Yeah,
they be saying stuff on the side, like, why is she talking to him like that?
Right. So I think the communication is key. The communication couples with the respect, right, and it needs to be showed publicly, because that's how other people and people around your man will view your man.
Public affirmation and admiration. That's good. Go ahead, Kymone.
This is my best example, man. This is what came to mind. I need you to be strong enough to be a good teammate. What do I mean by that? Like, we strong. You can hold your own. You can help me be better, right? So that's you telling me what I need to do. You helping me to grow. But as you just said, like Kevin Durant said, the day it started to dawn on him, I got to leave Golden State, is when Draymond publicly embarrassed him.
Yeah.
Call that man. It's like, man, that's not being a good teammate. And if we can have a conversation, if you can talk to me about what I need to do as a good teammate in a place where you and I are alone, man, let's do that. But don't do it with the lights on, everybody watching. That's not being a good teammate. And that's, to me, being a strong woman. What you want is be a good teammate to me. Be a good teammate to me.
Fellas, y'all knocked it out of the park again today. And even on a subject like this, where it's all about the men, let me look in this camera right here and just tell some brother right now. I just feel led to do this. Dude, man, I want to encourage you. You're not crazy because you have these thoughts. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a chauvinist because you want a woman to cater to you and you want a woman to tell you you're the man and you want to be affirmed in your manhood. I don't care what the world says, there is nothing wrong with that. You can be just like that and be married to a strong woman, be in a equal partnership in your marriage. Man, you can be both of those things. And we here at the Get Your S.H.I.F.T. Together podcast just want you brothers to know right now, hey, look, we feel you and we right there with you. We all men of God on here, but we men of God who also want our women, you know what I'm saying, to knock on the door at night and say, listen, I want a woman that's strong enough who gonna assert herself and say she gonna make love to me too.
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
Scratch your back.
I was just about to say that women be strong in our bedroom, man. Take the assertiveness. Don't wait for your husband to come on to you every night. You jump on that thing once in a while. You knock on that door. You sit there.
Yeah, listen.
Hey. Y'all listening to this podcast, make sure you subscribe. Those of you watching this, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you share this stuff. Y'all see this kind of good conversation. Men need this. Women need this too.
Yo, by the way, I love you, Jason. I love you, Kymone.
Yeah, all day, man. Love you, brothers. I love y'all, man. I look forward to this every Thursday. And when we took our little hiatus, I was
back. We back next week Thursday.
Yeah, man. But glad we back.
Love you guys. Sir.
We talking red pill, blue pill coming up soon in the High Value Man. So y'all stay tuned. Peace.